Hi Aquarius, thank you for joining me and welcome to my channel. This is your reading for Aquarius Sun, Moon, and Rising for the rest of 2021. It's a Lenormand reading, but we'll start with the Oracle deck. Now, if you're a member, you're watching this early, and if you're not a member, you're watching this later. So, surprise members, I hope you enjoy it. It's a Lenormand style reading. I think I just said that. Okay, so let's find out your first cards. I was going to film this tomorrow, but the sun is setting and the light is nice, so I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so we have Remembering, number 39. We'll do 5 cards from this deck. We have Strength and Energy, Leo card. Okay, so this is usually called the Strength card in the regular tarot. Only the higher arcana are in this deck. Then we have the Doorway. You're reminded of something in the past. You should really do my meditation on my meditation channel about authenticity. This is really in alignment with that. And big 73, friendship here. You're going back towards something. And it's funny because the running joke with Aquarians is you don't go back. You just don't. If something's broken, you recognize it and you move on. And but there's a particular friendship, a closer friendship, relationship. Now when I talk about relationships, it can be romantic or platonic. Everybody's different, right? But it is a very important relationship. So if I were to ask you, who is the person that you miss so much, that you wish you could reconnect with? And I'm not saying someone who's passed. I'm talking about someone who's alive and kicking it, but out of your life for whatever reason. It's very likely it's concerning this person. There's something, you've gone through a personal transformation. Saturn is in your first house, remember? You've gone through a personal transformation, and I think that in some way, sorry, I had a download. It's changed who you are and how you think of this situation. I was thinking of the fact that Saturn, unless you are over 29 years old, this is the first time that Saturn is in Aquarius since you were born. So this is huge because it's your ruler, and it's not a common transit. It happens in your life 2 to 3 times max, right? So it happens to all of us in our first house, but particularly for Aquarians, it's very significant. And so I hope that you're learning the feedback that it offers you. You know, it's a very blessed transit, a very good way forward, and it will teach you valuable things for the rest of your life about what to value, primarily what to value, what's most important, how to rethink the things around you and what needs to change. So, remembering, strength, suddenly something becomes vitally important. And that opens a door to bigger friendships, more connections, just a doorway forward. So expect the fall to be a plethora of various different interactions and various different connections. You're really opening up, and something has like switched in you, it seems like. And you're going in a different way, celebrating life, connecting with people, or this one particular person that you are so drawn to, such a special person, and it's changing your life to accept that, to come to terms with that. Sometimes when we're young, especially in our 20s, it's hard to grasp who the important people are. And as you get older, late 20s, early 30s, and so forth, you start to really pinpoint the key people, the people who really matter. This is one of those people. So you're becoming acutely aware of it. Okay, good energy. Mercury's direct today. I'm like, why am I speaking so well? Is the moon in Aquarius? My moon's in Aquarius. Fun fact, when the moon is in your moon sign, you typically are quite eloquent and quite able to get things across well, but Mercury's direct and I can feel it. I'm a Virgo, so I'm ruled by Mercury. It going retrograde is like crazy. Saturn is retrograde until September, late September, and that's your ruler in your first house. So you are feeling, Saturn retrograde is actually a good break from criticism and being judged and things like that it brings in when it's moving direct. So it's kind of like a less pressure. Like, let's say that you are working for somebody. Basically, the boss still needs you to do the job, but they're sort of out of the room more. They're not hovering over you. Okay, so let's take a look at your cards. We have the house. That's the most important thing. The house, the home. I'll lay down 7 cards and we'll talk about them. Then we have the hand, okay? And then we have the mountain. And then we have the tree. Oh, that's this is the center part of that for the first row we'll do. So that's really good. A house is core to you, setting down roots. Chastity. Some of these cards are bonus cards that I made for this deck. 23 mice. And stars. Blessings. Okay. What the first thing that comes across is your house or home is a key feature for the rest of the year. So important, so core to your experience. And the bigger picture is that you're setting down roots. I made it totally lopsided, sorry. So you're setting down roots with something, and it's much more a home than a house in this respect. The house here is much more a home, okay? So I feel as though you are around people who may have some mice is like maybe they don't have as clean of an energy as you do. And your clarity and your like not cleanliness but clean spirit is leading you to a very successful outcome around these people. They're brutes, or like they're not, they have, and I'm not judging people based on wealth or anything like that. This is people who are like, they don't try in that positive way. They're just sort of cruddy, you know? And around them, you're coming in with chastity. One of the downloads that I had when I was looking at this was like, oh, they have this around them. And I'm like, well, Aquarius can handle it. So I know that you can handle, you're around people that are, like I said, like brutish and don't have the best characteristics in terms of their character. And they could be wealthy or they could be poor, but they're just sort of, well, mice, like steal from anybody, cut anyone's throat sort of people. So you're coming to them with very good energy, and you'll fare very well in that environment around them. Maybe it's at work, maybe it's a social environment. I feel like it's an environment in which you're socially around them, like somewhere, you know? And this is a temporary time this fall in which you'll be around them. I think it's another test of character, especially when Saturn goes direct. So you'll be around people that are like questionable in their character, but you're going to do so well around them. And definitely setting down roots, and it's been a long path for you to get to where you are and to be so settled and comfortable. Okay, so let's do 7 more cards. We'll do 2 more rows of 7 and then we'll go into details. So we have the snake, and we have the ship. I'll lay all the cards down here because I looked at them. I have rules when I read that I don't tell you about. Rings, superstitious rules. Like if I see it, I have to acknowledge it. 18. No, I told you. So we have the dog. Okay. And woman just jumped out. Woman might be traveling away somewhere. A woman may be traveling away somewhere. Let's see. Garden. And I saw the next one. So what am I going to do? Acknowledge it. And it's a good one. So Good things are coming. There's also a really strong relationship. You will likely spend the majority of your social time around one friend in the fall into the winter. There will be one friend who sticks out, who's more of a companion, a friend, just a very bonded, good situation. It really feels as though you have things to be wary of. Some of the people in your environment are not to be trusted, and you know you're very keen and you're very sharp, and you know not to get messed up with them. There's no anxious bonding here. There's not you like trying to be friendly to the rabid dog down the street that's trying to bite your hand off. Like there's no, that energy is not here. And so I feel as though some of you just might be one-on-one with one other person, creating like a very good environment for yourself. This could be in your work where there's like stress, and maybe some of the new hires or maybe some of the people you're working with are just, and so you're building your pristine environment around the house and feeling very bonded to it, feeling very, very comfortable where you are. I feel as though someone bad is also leaving your life or has left your life, and it's allowing you to go. You could have broken up with someone, and that sort of gave you back your commitment to yourself. This person would have been a snake, literally. They could have cheated on you. They could have been really not nice, but they're gone. So good for you, because it's all this good is here. And this is kind of a timeline, the past affecting the present and the future. So the future is really nice, but just, it really is about your house and home, getting comfortable and living a good life for yourself. Okay, last row, and then we'll go into detail. All right, so we have the birds. You're hearing about this person through friends. You're hearing gossip, sun. You're hearing gossip. The lies that there's lies that they told you that you're coming to realize. They told you lies to get you to be quiet, basically, to appease you, and you're realizing what those lies are. It might be really a situation in which you thought you loved someone, and then you realize they were just lying to you, and you're like, who is this person? Like, wow, okay, cross, good energy. And a friend is really, it could be, like if you're a female, it could be a male. And if you're a man, it could be a woman who is around you, but it's a platonic relationship. I wouldn't be surprised if it turns into more later. It could literally be your dog, though, too, or a cat or some other pet. It feels very alone, but not in a bad way, like one-on-one with another sentient being. And that person or that entity, that energy is really positive. Very, very protective over you, because I think that they see you're going in a good direction and they don't want this one situation to ruin it for you. This book keeps on being in reverse, and I keep forgetting to fix it. This has been like the third reading I found it like that. Fox and path. You're going to find your path in the fall. You need to put away the way you think about things, whatever you've learned in dealing with situations, especially on a formal, like academic role. Your approach needs to be different. You don't have to follow the regular path here. And that's Saturn in the first house. It breaks down the ways we should be doing things. So again, unless you're 58, you have gone through this once. So in your life before, Saturn in your first house. So, at the most, and if you're under 29, this is your first time. So, basically, the book is telling me, sorry, I had to remember because I started thinking about the math of it all, sorry. But then the book is really saying, so Saturn basically in the first house breaks down the shoulds and the have-tos of how we go about doing things, the logic of it, restructures it. And so now it's like turn it in on itself, and you become the fox. You're thinking about the snake. Look at the fox is thinking about the snake and taking a different path. So the fox has learned the ways of the snake. And the fox isn't always bad. The fox is cunning. And so you've become cunning, and you're going to do something I think you're going to do something really big in the fall, in the spring, or like the late winter in 2022. This really looks like you're taking some steps in the fall towards a consequence, a positive consequence in 2022, and the choices that you make are leading you up to something. It really feels like an incubation period, you know, where you're reflecting on the past and thinking about where it's gone and really getting ready for I think I would tell you home run. Saturn in the first house sets us up for home runs if we really follow through with what the world is telling us needs to change. So just do it. And I think Aquarians are best fit for doing that, because you have the ability to not be so emotional and not, take good feedback or take healthy criticism as healthy criticism and adopt it. So the universe is telling you all this stuff. You should do this and you should do that, right? And telling you how to live your life better. And many signs, maybe Cancer. Sorry, I'm poking fun at Cancers today. So Cancers, for example, they might miss the point by getting upset by what they're seeing or perceiving. And so Aquarians, you have that distance, and therefore you learn really fast because you're, and you go a different direction. And this path is so mysterious to me. I'll show you close up. So yeah, the path is taking you somewhere wonderful through that thicket. And you can't see, but they're palm trees. So it's like a palm tree thicket, it's a friendly road. So yeah, Aquarius, I think it's wonderful. So let's go through card by card. So we have the whole point of this is where you feel at home. Where's your house? Where are you grounded? So I think that the whole thing is about home is where the friendships are. Home is where the affinity is, where you can have people that you count on, and roots are established. But some of that has an obstacle to it. Some of that has a bit of scathe. It's a path that's not perfect for you. It's not perfect for anybody, but it's not perfect for you. Okay, so someone gave you really good advice, and go with that advice. That advice is important. Your ability through the fall to connect with a female energy in your life, particularly someone like a mother or sister, someone who you're drawn to. It feels as though it's difficult at this time. So you might feel as though to reach them, to connect with them, might be a struggle. But a very strong bond could develop with a man. I don't make promises in love. This is a general reading, but there could be a very strong bond. And remember what I said, that it felt like it was a person of the opposite sex. So you could be forming a deep companion connection with someone. That's awesome. And I think that around you are really good, willing people with good intentions as well. There's just a warning here that there is, and this could be family, these mice. So it could be somebody trying to figure out financial things or sneaking around, sneaking energy. You're going to overcome it all and shine. And there's going to be so much light and success through this. The big advice that I have for the mice is don't get involved as much as possible, which I don't think you'll do anyway. If I was talking to a Cancer or Pisces, and if you're a Cancer or Pisces, I'm just kidding. But if I was talking to some other sign, then I might feel as though I would need to suggest, but I think you'll instinctively do that. I don't think it's a hang up to you to to try to check and resolve, those things. This person, problem person, but they gave you a lot of strength. Sometimes when someone is a real snake, it's easier to distance yourself from them because they just are nasty and you see them as nasty, and therefore you just have freedom from any sort of sympathy for that. Than someone who's a good guy screwboy, for example, like someone who's sort of, Mr. Friendly, So this person made it very clear, it became very clear that they're not good people, and so therefore you have much more separation from them emotionally. Good stuff. And you have departed or are departing now somewhere else, going somewhere. That's important. The big picture is commitment, and commitment will come into your life and bring you a lot of success, a lot of long-term success. It doesn't happen overnight, so this might be starting now and evolving over the next 6 months. Friendship, that's where your mind should be at. That's what your mind should be focused on. Friendship, companionship, solidarity with someone else, and also taking care of yourself, feeling beautiful, nurturing yourself. These two are together. It's such a bond between the woman and the dog. So they're so close together. And the garden is the happy place that they spend their time together. There's this like wonderful time in the fall or in the winter time in which these two people are bonded. It's such a strong bond here. It's an antidote to the snake and everything that you have or both of you have left behind. And here, the bonding is slow, but it's going to be extremely successful. It really feels like you found a best friend, the best connection ever, not regretting anything. And the other thing that I'm getting is a lot of joy in your heart here. Very nice stuff. Be wary of gossip and be very careful of what you say to other people. And then likewise, I feel like a lot of lies are being disclosed to you. You're through gossip. You may be hearing that someone lied to you about who they were entirely, to the snake level. So it's like, oh, he's married, never told you, that kind of thing. And so your perception is shattered, but without a lot of heartbreak, maybe a short-term one. And this is in the past. If this isn't pertaining to you, then don't take it on. But it really feels as though it's not a partner. It's very likely a casual relationship to a boyfriend, someone who you've known maybe a year at the most, that kind of thing. Someone with much more fifth house romance than partnership energy. So if that's not you, don't worry about your husband, please, or wife, okay? So then we have the letter. Very important. Communication will tell you to invite you somewhere in good faith. That's going to come later. And then we have the cross. Again, private feelings that you might feel weighed down by about certain things. You might have darker days when you're thinking about it, but that too will work itself out. The book in reverse. Innocence is bliss. So I think that's not knowing some things, turning a blind eye to some of these. There's things in your environment that could make you upset if you paid attention to them. Don't. And this is you looking back and you've gained a lot of wisdom through this time period leading up until now. And this wisdom is leading you in a brand new direction. So, yeah, the main thing I sense is wisdom, friendship, those kinds of things. Really nice energy. I have some dice to give you some astrological associations for this time period. So a Gemini might be important, sun, moon, and rising. Or a Capricorn might be very important, sun, moon, and rising. The moon in the fifth house. The moon in the fifth house is romantic. So you may have been in a romance, got swept away, Or you might be really finding a true love now on the heels of a mild disappointment, a little bit of a shock, dare I say. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this sunset reading for the rest of the 2021. I'll be back soon with more videos. Thank you. Bye.